Let's see. Let's look for the chat here. Will the new Shield tech actually fix the holes in the ships?
Yes, it will. The new Shield tech. So previously we had a mesh that was
every part of the ship
yeah
has a duplicated expanded mesh that is what detects the shield. So as you can imagine, ships have lots of parts. It's easy for bits to not quite
mesh together. So the way the new Shield tech works is we have a thing called an SDF, which is
Signed distance field.
It's a signed distance field, and it is a sort of force field around the ship that encodes how far away at every point that point is from the ship. And so using that, you could say here's a bullet, and then ask this SDF how far away you are from a surface on the ship. And that's all calculated to like programmatically, dynamically. It's not a mesh. And so it's much more reliable at figuring that out, and it's not going to have any holes because it's just programmatically generated from whatever the ship's shape is.
Yeah, unless the ship has holes in it.
Yes, yeah.
Fair enough. I was going to say,
Yes.
I feel like we've heard about this signed distance field tech being used for shields for a while now, but it's not currently in game. Now, I'm not asking you when. I'm saying what's been the delay? What's been the delay? What's been the struggle?
So sort of twofold. There's the actual teams making use of these signed distance fields, like the vehicle feature team will be working on making the old shield system use the new shield system. We've got bits and pieces done, that's fine. Once we've done that, then the VFX team have to essentially go and reauthor all the shield effects for all the ships, because at the moment you have the blue sort of splashy effect, and you actually have hit effects coming off it. They need to, because the old system uses something completely different to anything else in game, they need to make a new shield hit effect for SDFs. So they've got to do all that. But one of the biggest challenges is actually on the core engine side is this is a new file format that has to be baked into our existing assets. Okay. The resource compiler, when we're making the builds, has to automatically do this. But to do it, someone needs to mark up what of the ship should be made. So it's working out all these core pipelines for a tech artist has to go into the ship file and go, the ship is these parts. Because if we just let the compiler go, I'm going to do everything in the ship, it's going to be making SDFs for like the buttons on the cockpit or the joysticks, which is just unnecessary time to do it, and time to compile it, and time to, or hard drive space for actually building these things. So we want to only use the exterior. So someone has to go mark those up. Then we had to make it so the builds actually picked up that data, generated it. And then there's a little bit of work still to come that's not blocking us at the moment from progressing, but a lot of our ships animate.
Right, so the signed distance field has to adjust.
It has to dynamically adjust to those things, because the old system, it was just a part attached to the wing, so when the wing animated it moved with it for free.
Easy.
Signed distance fields don't do that out of the box. And it's not just using signed distance fields for shields, we want to use it on other things as well. So that same signed distance field we'll use for atmospheric entry. So at the moment, when you come into an atmosphere, you get the glowy stuff on the front of your ship. If you went in backwards, you still get the front bit on the front of your ship, because it's just attached to your ship in that area. And we could do one for every single area of the ship to account for that, but that's just a huge amount of work. So signed distance field will allow us to play that effect on the appropriate face when you're going in.
Assuming you're going fast enough.
Assuming you're going fast enough.
I was, the last couple of times I entered, I wasn't getting it. I'm like, why isn't this working? And then Mikey goes, you just aren't going fast enough. And I'm like, oh, when I sped up my reentry in there, it was, I'm like, oh, it's procedural then. Or systemic, rather. So it sounds like there's some prerequisite work that needs to be done for that. The next question is actually about some prerequisite work that has already been done.
Hey, you are still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_FFM, and this is the city I live in, Frankfurt am Main. On Twitter I post about my videos and sometimes just some funny little videos.
Action!
Would be nice if you would join me on Twitter.